She was like, he didn't make it. And then I was just in shock. I just couldn't move. My mom had to carry me out the room.
It was the moment Julian DeCosti found out he lost his best friend, 17-year-old Joaquin Oliver.
Nobody's had to deal with this, man. Nobody.
4 friends struggling to make sense of why this had to happen again.
It sucks that it had to be like this, that school shootings are a thing that people talk about every day, and that it was him. And I still can't put my head around it.
Joaquin always loved to listen to music. He always liked to rap, loved to play sports, write poems and stuff. He was deep, he had a deep mind, and that's what I always respected about him.
Joaquin came to America from Venezuela when he was 3 years old, and just last year, he became a U.S. citizen.
We've always loved each other, like since we met.
Victoria Gonzalez was his girlfriend.
He's the most incredible soul ever. His heart was so big. All he did was love anyone. He told me all the time that what he wanted in life was to make everyone else feel loved.
Joaquin had gotten her flowers that morning, flowers that she has now cast in resin and is wearing around her neck.
He was everyone's hero. He gave me so much love. Everyone knows that about him, that all he did was love. That's all, he is love.
He was supposed to come to Victoria's classroom to pick up his Valentine's Day gift, a cassette tape she had made him, but he would never make it.
It's just hard because he didn't deserve it. He was very young. I know if he was still here, I know that he'd want change. With our gun laws, he'd want change for sure. School shootings will lessen, and we wouldn't have to be here today.
The thought of going back to that school is unfathomable.
There's no way to walk through the halls knowing what happened there. At every corner, I would meet him at every class. There's no doing that. That's not happening.
Dillon and Joaquin used to drive home together.
Going back to school, walking to my car, and he's not in there, it's gonna devastate me.
For them, it's important to not only memorialize their friend, but to make this appeal.
Lawmakers, please do something right for once and make change in America that we actually need.
Tonight, President Trump making the first trip down to Parkland to pay his respects and visit with the hospital medical team, law enforcement, and first responders.
Very sad something like that could happen. But the job the doctors did, the nurses, the hospital, first responders, law enforcement, really incredible.
In the face of terror, there was no shortage of bravery. There's Aaron Feist, who is said to have died protecting students, putting himself in the line of fire. Feist was a beloved husband, father, and football coach.
Great coach, great man, put a smile on my face every single day.
His players and his fellow head coach thought of him as family.
What was Coach Feist like?
One of the best guys I know. Just open-hearted, open to anyone, always there for people. If you needed him, he would, on his golf cart, just throw him right to you.
It was his golf cart that Coach Feist would use Wednesday, racing to help others.
I understood that he took a girl and kind of pushed her out of the door and got in front of the shooter, and that's when the shooter shot him.
Do you remember where you were and how you got the news?
I didn't want to believe it. Didn't want to, I didn't want for it to be true. I love him. I love him, and things are going to be real hard and difficult, to go back to school and not be able to see my buddy.
If you could have told Coach Feist something before he left us, what would you have told him?
I would thank him for everything he's done for us, all the countless times. Told him everything, spilled out my heart, my chest, he was always there for me.
Coach May, have you thought about it, what you would tell him?
I'll miss him. I'll miss seeing him every day.
He really is a hero, right?
He didn't have to get shot to be a hero. He was a hero every day. People looked up to him and respected him. It's not a high-paying job, but if you can change somebody's life, and make them into a better person, that's what it's all about.
I just wish that we had maybe one more minute or one more conversation. I'm just grateful for the man he was and the man he's helped me become.
Today, a law enforcement source telling ABC News that investigators believe the shooter fired approximately 150 bullets. In this video obtained by ABC News, you can see the suspect right there in the back, walking away from the scene of the shooting to a McDonald's. And today, the FBI admitting it failed to act on a January 5th tip that came in on Nicholas Cruz. The tipster called the FBI to report concerns about Cruz's gun ownership, desire to kill people, erratic behavior, and disturbing social media posts, as well as the potential of him conducting a school shooting. The FBI said that protocols were not followed and that no further investigation was conducted at the time, opening up more questions about how this could have been avoided.
On behalf of myself and over 1,000 employees of the Miami field office, we truly regret any additional pain that this has caused.
This is absolutely outrageous because the information in the tip was actionable.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions has ordered a full review of the FBI tip failure, adding in a statement, "It is now clear that the warning signs were there and tips to the FBI were missed. We see the tragic consequences of those failures."
It's like, I know that kid. And then he goes, "Mom, it's our neighbor." And I was like, oh my God, you know, and you're shocked, just total shock.
Shelby Spino and her family live just a few doors away from the suspect.
There came a point when you started to routinely see police at his house.
You know, not when they were little, small children, but when he was middle school. When he was little, he got into little kid trouble. Now he's getting older, you know, the police are there, the trouble's escalating.
Today, the sheriff confirming those calls to law enforcement.
We've had approximately 20 calls for service over the last few years regarding the killer.
How did this kid get a gun? Any gun, never mind this gun. I don't understand how he legally bought a gun.
At last night's vigil, students and community members coming together in a sea of grief.
It's our obligation to carry their names for the people who died today, carry them forward and change the world a little bit every day.
Today, 2 children were laid to rest. 14-year-old Alyssa Alhadef, a talented soccer player and creative writer, and 18-year-old senior Meadow Pollock. She had just been accepted to Lynn University in Boca Raton. And tonight, 7 victims are still in the hospital. One of them, Maddie Wilford, a high school junior, shot 3 times. She just got out of her last surgery. For Nightline, I'm Tom Yamas in Parkland, Florida.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.